Hello and welcome to the Tarkus Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be playing the game Meet Your Maker, and we're just going to go over uh, my my maps real quick. Look at some statistics of my maps. The beta is almost over, and I think this is a good time to discuss what my thoughts are about the beta and how it worked out for me while playing the beta. I think the game's got a few more days before they're going to close the beta down. The product releases on April 4th. And so basically they've got time to do some patching and whatnot. But I was last night thinking about it. Yeah, there's some game design tweaks that would be nice. But as for red flags, issues, I have found none with this game. I have found none. And I've been playing this game. I think I've clocked 40 hours in so far. And the beta's only been open for 4 days. So that's 10 hours a day, I guess, is what I've been putting into this game. And I found a couple things that are more housekeeping issues where they could get resolved or they can't get resolved. It's just housekeeping kind of stuff. As for yellow flag items, like things that are game breaking again, didn't find anything that would fit in the yellow category. I would greenlight this game today if the developer said to me today, Tarkus, what do you think of the how the game runs? As a game, as the platform exists right now, I would say release your game tomorrow because it seems to be working very well. Now, obviously, people did report bugs. Obviously, people did report suggestions, and maybe they'll take the next couple weeks. Obviously, they got a marketing campaign for this, and obviously, they've got to probably doing it during a Steam window event. So, my thoughts are the game is good the way it is. The game is designed very well. It gives it gives two things. The game gives your hardcore first-person raiders something to do, and it gives the base developer, somebody like me who just wants to develop bases and never go into a outpost and just get my rewards from my bases that I make. It basically is catering for two types of player, which is ingenious. So let's go to my bases. So since I've been away, I've only been away about an hour. I've got 19 objects. That's what that 19 here is showing me on Apollo. I've ranked that to a third level. And in the last hour, there's 19 objects in there to pick up. There's 3 objects in this one to pick up. Cornstalk, I have 16 items, and Mazzy, my bird cage, I have 7 items. And then this one here, no one's tackled. I mean, I think it's because now this is just my thoughts. Is the beta is winding down. Probably people have stopped playing the game, and so my number values are low because if you look at this map, I've only had 6 attempts. Whereas if you look at my Apollo map, I built this map on day 1. I've had 91 attempts. So when this game comes out, there'll be a larger pool of players to dip into these maps so you get more bang for your buck. So I'm working with the beta players, those players that want to join my nut houses, fun houses, sinister layers, whatever you want to call them. So basically they're beta players, and there's only so many of them, right? I mean, I think what's happening is the week's winding down. People know they're not going to keep what they're done. None of this that you see here I'll be able to keep. When the live version of the game comes out, I will have to start over just like everyone else. So at this current status, and this is me just passively playing the game, building bases, not raiding myself, but just collecting the spoils of war, I'm at level 16, or my outpost is at level 16. I'm at level 10 as a character. It says level 10. And I've been able to buy quite a bit of things from these vendors. I've been really trying to focus on the NPCs. So I'm going to go back to this board, and hopefully this board doesn't screw up again on me. So my maze, since I was away that hour, I had 4 deaths in my bird cage, and the person gave up. You can see there, gave up. They didn't get anything out of it. I love this bird cage. Love it, love it, love it. I love Apollo too. I like this map. It was the first one I made. It's still giving me reaping rewards. There was 5 kills there. The guy did get the butte or the reward after 5 minutes and a half. And then Apollo, I had 2 people attack Apollo. They're 5 deaths total. They ended up doing it in almost 4 minutes. And then again, Apollo, somebody ran through Apollo and didn't die at all in under about 3 minutes. So those are the 4 attacks that were against me while I was away for an hour. But in the beginning of this week, if I had come back an hour later, I would have like 2 screens of people's attempts. So I think people are kind of winding down on playing, or it's just maybe the window of time during today. People are at work and they're just not playing the game. I don't. I mean, maybe in prime time in another hour or 2, I'll start getting more people on my maps. So let's look at Apollo's stats. I had 91 invaders. I had raiders killed, and my kill ratio is 3.2. The raiders, now I want to clarify here, unless you have it in overdrive, you really don't lose anything from the node. For raiders, they get rewarded. So when let's look at one of these places I've depleted. I depleted this, and its value was 4,000. I extracted 4,000 out of it because that's what its value was. But the invaders got a 10,000 out of it. So overall, it had 14,251 in it. So when people raid you, they're not taking away at all from you. You're going to get rewards by killing people when you go to clean up the mess, but they're not taking anything from the node. You're going to get the full node unless you put the system on overdrive, and that's a whole different game dynamic. So as you can see here, that was rank 1 map. I depleted it. It was started at 4,000 and I got 4,000 out of it. The same thing could be said for all the other maps when I maxed out on them. It's just that they give you this second number here, like with this map here, I've only had 16 attempts, and it's got a kill ratio of 5.9. Then Cornstalk, which I made just the other day. This one here, I believe, is the one I made. This is the map I made for the 40-minute build that I did. This is the 40-minute build, and this one's been rewarding me at a 5.8 kill rate, and I built that map in under 40 minutes. I did a whole video on it. If you watch the video, that map that we built on the screen in 40 minutes has a 5.8 kill ratio. And then we come to the bread and butter of the Tarkus zone, the bird cage, aka Mazzy, the map name. This one has 11.8 kill ratio, and I think it doesn't help the fact that now that I've been doing videos on this building, people are getting through it easier. I think they're seeing my videos and like thinking to themselves, oh, if I come to that map, I know how to beat it, because it's all randomized. People, there was a person on Discord the other day saying, Tarkus, I found your birdhouse. I did it. I did it. And they were very successful, but I believe in that occurrence, they died 23 times to get the reward. And people have ranked it as 33 fun, 43 brutal, 12 ingenious, and 8 artistic. So this was a good map for me. I mean, it's 11 deaths per attempt. That's pretty high. And then this one here is at 5.5. So I believe if you're above 5, you're doing your job right. And we've talked about Apollo in the past. That's starting to reap better rewards now because I tweaked it a little bit since we last talked, because I've upgraded it twice, so I've had more building room. And as you upgrade or perk out the map, you get more building assets to put on the map. So by doing that, I've actually increased my ratio, because yesterday the kill ratio of Apollo was 1.9. So just by upgrading the map, prestiging it up a couple levels, adding more monsters, adding more traps, I was able to bump it to a 3.2, which is still kind of below the 5 mark. I think 5 is a good 5 kills per run. I think you're doing a good job if you're doing that, but I think you're doing a fantastic job if you're doing 11 kills per run. So before I button this video up, why don't we just quickly look at some game footage? And the best way to do that in this game is to go to this little terminal here. Let's go to, this is the Apollo. This is the map that I tweaked. This is the map that I tweaked after upgrading it. I was just talking about it. We won't look at the birdcage again because I did a video earlier this morning. So I figured let's look at Apollo and see how well this dungeon does now that I massaged it. This dungeon was the first dungeon I ever made. And it's really simple. Most of it's got the core traps in it. I have upgraded the enforcers to blow up when they die. So I did add that to the enforcers. And I love that because if you've got to sprint across and you want to melee those guys, then they're going to blow up on you if you do that. Same thing with that enforcer right here. He's set to blow up. So you see, he just blew up. And then I've got the bird there that's hitting that angle. So I put the bird at that blind spot so you don't see it, that bird coming down. Because the first instinct is to go down and kill that guy on the ledge, not realizing, like right behind you. Yeah, your first instinct, kill that guy on the ledge, not realizing that the bird dude is right there. So this person's doing a pretty good job. I think what happens here is there's a couple traps that get them. Surprise them. Right there is the first one. I don't think they obviously didn't look down. So a good design, I believe, is when you're almost like a fun house or a scary house that you get their attention in one direction and you scare them in another. Same thing with these map designs. You want to grab the person's attention for them focusing on that, and then they lose focus on everything else around them. So they get kind of pinned down. And if you've got a good memory, that's what gets good about this, is if you start remembering what's going on in the map, then you'll know where all the pitfalls are eventually. So if you never give up and you got a good memory, you're eventually going to beat it, right? I mean, that's the thing with it, is you'll eventually beat the map once you start remembering all the complexities that are going on around you. And this person puts a great effort in. There is no doubt that they're not giving up, because you can look at the meter above. Just in the next few minutes, this person's going to die 6 more times. Then they die another time, 3 more times, then another time, and then they cash out of the place around the 8-minute mark. So, again, this is just a simple design, simple mechanics, basic traps. Most of them are the basic traps. I do have the grenade thrower in there that I added this time around, so I bought that. You'll see those come down the stairs. I put it right there. You can see it in the roof. And what it does is now it spits out the grenades and it falls down the stairs. And that's what it is I put that grenade launcher at that location so that when it discharges all those bombs, see that? It's right here. So when that discharges right there, as this guy goes past, because he obviously didn't see it to be a trap. Now behind him, those things are being discharged, and they're coming down those stairs like a bat out of hell. Oh, he's not going to turn in that angle. But you can hear him going off. You can see him going off behind him. So that grenade launcher trap, and he's not paying attention, there's another trap there, is actually rolling down those stairs. So if you're designing your map, then think about putting the grenade launcher there at top of stairways, maybe behind them, and if they ignore them, like this guy, I don't think he's seen one before. So he doesn't realize that it's a trap there that's in that ceiling. So as he pulls himself down here, he never attacks it. It's right there above it. And now it's discharging those mines. And those mines right now, hopefully, are rolling down the stairs. You can see him going off. So he's ignoring that trap each time, and that time it was fatal to him because that's what killed him. So you've seen it. This, it all comes down to how devious your imagination is, and how the replays allow you to tweak the map to your advantage. Well, just to button this up, just to conclude, I believe the beta went smooth. Minor polishing issues they need to do. They could consider adding different, going to their feedback page and finding out what people's feedbacks are. Mine is I don't know if there's a level restriction on how many I know right now I only can put 20 monsters down on a map. And I don't know if I'm being restricted by that because of my level of this guy, or if it's just the way it is that it's 20 and you're done. I think 20 is too small. And if you want to make your base, or if you want to make the base value 20, meaning 20 monsters, maybe allow us to upgrade that somehow, either by prestiging the map or getting this guy up to a particular level, and he'll allow you to control more monsters on the map, because 20 just seems not enough, because I want to create like Doom or Duke Nukem maps where you got a lot of monster interaction and not as much trap interaction. And right now, because of the capping of the 20 monsters or NPCs you can put down, I know there's got to be a limit at some point, but I think the limit might be a little light right now. I think 20 is a little light. There's been a few times where I had enough capacity points to put 2 more brutes down, and I couldn't do it because I had capped out on the amount of NPCs I could put on the map. Well, those are just my thoughts for today. I'm going to greenlight this, and I will be buying it when it comes out on April 4th. So I hope to see you then. I'll probably do another couple videos before they close the beta down. I'm going to try to do a few more videos before the beta completely closes. But for today, I'm saying green light. If this game intrigues you, if you like raiding, a fast-paced movement style raiding as a player, this game is for you. If you like base building like tower defense games, this game's for you. All right, well, thank you for joining me. This has been the Tarkus Zone.